This is me in Oslo at Vigeland Park, but this is not really about the shoot, although it kind of is. It's about the Norwegian law when it comes to photo retouching and how it made me rethink my approach, and how I'm still using my software, Retouch Me, who do actually sponsor me, but not this video, can I just say, but how it's a whole new mindset. Because if you're not aware, should I say, of this law in Norway, it may rethink how exactly you ethically retouch, if that's even a thing. So like I said, I was in Oslo recently. I was shooting loads of models. I was having the best time. Here I am with one of them. The beautiful light, you know, it's just stunning. It's actually quite warm. It was heaven. Now, whilst prepping for the edits, I came across this law that was passed in 2021, 2022, I believe. Norway made it mandatory for influencers and advertisers to label any photo that alters a person's body shape, size, skin, or features. And by alter, I don't mean like a few like tweaks of color grading and brightness. I mean like changing the reality, shrinking their waist, smoothing their thighs, changing the skin to this airbrushed like plastic look that I know has popularity, pumping those lips. You get what I'm on about, right? So essentially, if you're paid to post, be it ads, influencer deals, brand collabs, and you retouch the physical features, you actually have to label it clearly. Now, the law doesn't ban retouching, it just forces transparency. And that to me is incredibly powerful, because people, especially young people, are bombarded with perfection that isn't real. And they don't even know that it's fake. And I, for one, find this utterly baffling, because when you think about all the shoots that you do and you see online, you know something's been AI created or someone's been heavily retouched, but some of the younger generation don't, and some people don't. I've seen it. And while I was walking around Oslo, you'll see it in one of my reels if you're on my Instagram, so this is a great time for you to check out my Instagram. I happened to notice that there was a lot of adverts that were not retouched, and you could see that there was what do you call it, pimples and wrinkles, and this just normal skin tone. And yet next to the adverts that were quite clear from the American market, they were heavily retouched. Okay, it's unusual, and it kind of made the Norwegian adverts, or the Scandinavian adverts, because there was a few from other places, really made the very retouched images look a lot worse. So as a photographer, I have to say it hit me hard. I've seen firsthand how clients, especially those who are female, pick themselves apart. Can you fix my arms? Can you smooth my stomach? Can you make me look thinner? Can you make me look younger? And why? Because we are trained people, we as photographers train people to believe that unedited means unworthy. I want a better word for that, but honestly it does. Like, every image must be perfect, even when nobody looks like that in real life. And you've seen it with adverts, right? I hate to pick her out, but let's do Kim Kardashian, which is ironic because Kim Kardashian's own Skims range has recently been doing stuff where it's unretouched, but Kim's own Instagram seems, in my opinion, quite retouched. So it's this juxtaposition of both. But what you often see in magazines, they'll take a picture of a celebrity and go, oh, this is what they really look like, and they look nothing like what their online persona is. Now, that's where us as photographers come in. We are not just clicking a shutter. We are shaping how people see themselves, and that is a lot of responsibility. And one, I don't know if I can refuse it anymore. So I want to be clear. I still retouch. I use Retouch for me, and I love it. It's fast, it's clean, and it's smart as hell. I'll be honest. I can tweak skin, fabric, backgrounds, you name it. And what can take 45 minutes is barely taking a few moments. But here's the key. I'm no longer going overboard, and I mean that. I'm not refreshing, reshaping somebody. I'm not smoothing their skin till it's plastic. Because of Retouch Me, I'm able to reduce what I do and slide it down and make it less. I'm not having these heavily overworked images. I'm cleaning up lighting artifacts, balancing the skin tone, but not rewriting someone's face. This software gives me control. The ethics come from how I, however, choose to use it. I'm not saying that you need to choose to use it in some way. I am saying I have chosen to do this, okay? It is something that I've become quite passionate about. So with the Oslo shoot that you're seeing in these video clips, I made the conscious decision that there would be no liquefying, there'll be no sculpting, no excessive, I'll get the word out now, no excessive skin softening, just small refinements, and only where it was needed. Because real skin is beautiful. Freckles, pores, folds, they're not flaws, they're features. And when you light them right and pose with intention, you don't need fake perfection. And this shoot honestly made me fall in love again with the honesty and imagery. And the response has been overwhelmingly positive. It helps, yes, that my model has got great skin. It helps, yes, that I have beautiful lighting. It does. And I can't sit there and say to you, I didn't have an easy job. Like, I really did. She is an incredibly beautiful woman. But I want to say that as I'm going forward as a photographer, I am going to be very active in how I edit. I don't think it's fair to present an image where someone totally doesn't look like themselves. And we've seen this. People are struggling to tell the difference between AI and real life. I don't want to be a part of that. I don't. I think AI has such great potential for use. But the fact is, we are creating a nation that honestly thinks everything should be in any way edited and altered. And I'm going to share a story with you that's a little heartbreaking. When I first moved to the town of Northampton, there I was walking through the shopping centre, and as I came outside, I saw on the wall a wanted poster. Sorry, a missing poster, not a wanted poster, a missing poster. It was a missing child, and it said in big letters, missing child. I went, oh, I better go over and have a look, because, you know, missing child. And I haven't seen a missing child poster in ages. Now they tend to post on Facebook, don't they? I walked up and there was this young girl who was missing, but do you know what was shocking? This picture that they had put up was the one from, I believe, Snapchat. You know, the very smoothed off skin with the golden yellowy butterflies floating around her head. That was her missing picture file, because essentially they couldn't find anything else. How is that acceptable? How is that? I remember going home that day and deciding I need to do something about that. So I put out a quick call casting and said, I'm going to do 3 photos, because if nothing else, I want you to have a photo of what your child actually looks like. I know it's really awful, because a missing child spurred me to this, but I had people coming in and saying, I just need a picture. It was a beautiful headshot and people loved it. But the fact is, these parents unfortunately do not have a clear picture of their child that they could submit to the missing posters. So I'm sorry, it removed all of her facial features essentially. It was just a nostrils and eyes and a mouth. There was no other freckles on show, nothing. And there was these golden butterflies. And I just knew that the way in which the world was going, that this was going to be a huge problem for us. Now, I'm not saying that we should cancel anybody who does editing and if it's wrong. I'm not saying that all retouching is bad. High-end editorial, surreal concepts, acne on prom day, context matters. And if someone, and everyone's screaming no edits ever, it's not really missing the point. It's about the intent. Are you editing to enhance or to deceive? Are you helping your subject look their best or create an impossible version of themselves? I have had it, and I'm sure you have had it, where clients have come to you and said, I'm X amount of ages, can you make me look younger by so many years? And you say, I can make you look like you've had a good night's sleep. But is that the best? Have I done a good job then? I need someone to tell me, and I want to hear your debate, okay? So this law in Norway, it's not perfect. It's only enforceable in certain contexts, but it does spark a very important question. Where do we draw the line? Maybe the bigger question is, should we as creatives take the lead before more laws have to do it for us? Because honestly, I'd rather be ahead of the curve ethically than forced to catch up legally. So now I want to hear from you. Are you still editing the same way you did 5 years ago? Should laws like Norway exist? Where's your line between reality and retouch? Drop a comment. I want to open this up. Photographers, models, editors, retouchers, clients. It affects all of us. And a shout out to Retouch for me. You gave me the tools to work effectively and ethically. And if you want control without compromise, they've got my back. I will put the link below. They did not sponsor this, but I like the fact that I can retouch to a certain amount, pull it back and save it as a preset. It allows me to do that. I'll probably do a more in-depth video on the retouch. These pictures that you are seeing here, I have color graded them. I have edited the background, but my model, no. The odd straight hair has been removed, but everything else is fine. And yes, I put it through Retouch for me, but I literally only retouched the background with her because I wanted to tidy it up a little bit. I am very, very proud of these pictures. And yes, I want to acknowledge that I'm very lucky that she's a beautiful young lady, and that does help. And yes, my voice is still going. So tell me what you think. Get in my comments. Let's talk about it. I've been Khandie. This has been another video from me. I hope you've enjoyed it and you would subscribe if you're into bold portraits, honest and straight talking, because this is the industry that we're in. I'd love to see you follow me, and don't forget to check out my Spotify, because I do actually have my own podcast called The Loud Lens. See you all soon.